I'm Skinned Tom. My story begins in the quiet town of Walland, Tennessee, nestled amidst rolling hills and thick forests. Once, I was just a young man named Tom, living a simple life among the townsfolk. But fate had other plans for me. It all started one fateful night when I stumbled upon a secret buried deep within the woods. I uncovered an ancient curse, a malevolent force that would change me forever. The curse took hold of me, twisting my once human form into something monstrous, something beyond comprehension. Now, I roam the shadowed alleys and deserted roads of Walland, a spectral figure cloaked in darkness. My appearance strikes fear into the hearts of those who dare to cross my path. But it is not enough merely to instill terror. I crave something more. I hunger for the souls of the living, for their fear and despair sustain me. I am drawn to the unsuspecting, the vulnerable souls who wander alone in the dead of night. With a haunting whistle that pierces the silence, I announce my presence, sending shivers down the spine of anyone who hears it. And when they least expect it, I strike, dragging them into the depths of darkness where I reign supreme. But my thirst is never quenched, my hunger never satisfied. I am cursed to roam these streets for eternity, forever searching for my next victim, forever haunted by the sins of my past. I am Skinned Tom, the terror of Walland, and my legend will never... Chapter 2. The Curse Unveiled. As the nights passed and my curse deepened its hold on me, whispers of my name began to spread throughout Walland. People spoke of a malevolent force lurking in the shadows, preying on the innocent under the cloak of darkness. They called me Skinned Tom, a name that sent shivers down the spine of even the bravest souls. But despite the fear I inspired, there were those who sought to uncover the truth behind the legend. Among them was Sarah, a young woman with a fierce determination and an unwavering curiosity. She had heard the whispers, seen the fear in the eyes of her fellow townsfolk, and she refused to be cowed by the darkness that gripped our town. One moonlit night, Sarah ventured into the heart of the woods, guided by nothing but her courage and a burning desire for the truth. She followed the winding paths deeper and deeper into the forest until she stumbled upon an ancient, forgotten shrine hidden beneath the trees. In the center of the shrine stood a weathered statue, its features worn away by time. At its base lay a dusty tome, bound in leather and adorned with strange symbols. With trembling hands, Sarah opened the book and began to read the words inscribed within. As she delved deeper into the ancient text, the truth of my curse was revealed to her. She learned of the dark ritual that had transformed me into the creature I had become, and of the terrible price I had paid for my sins. And with each word she read, Sarah realized that she alone held the key to breaking the curse that bound me to this fate. But breaking the curse would not be easy. It would require courage, sacrifice, and a willingness to face the darkness head-on. And as Sarah closed the tome and made her way back to the town, she knew that her journey had only just begun. For the legend of Skinned Tom was far from over, and the true battle for Walland's soul had only just begun. Chapter 3. The Confrontation. Sarah returned to Walland with the ancient tome clutched tightly in her hands. Her mind was a whirlwind of thoughts and emotions as she contemplated the enormity of the task ahead. She knew she could not do this alone. She needed allies, people she could trust, and she found them in her closest friends, Jake and Emily. Together, they pored over the tome, deciphering the arcane rituals and spells that held the key to freeing me from my curse. The text was filled with cryptic warnings and dark prophecies, but it also contained a glimmer of hope, a ritual that, if performed correctly, could break the curse and release my tortured soul. As they prepared for the ritual, a sense of urgency hung in the air. The nights were growing darker, and the whispers of Skinned Tom were becoming more frequent and more chilling. The town of Walland was gripped with fear, and Sarah knew that they had to act quickly before more innocent lives were claimed by the curse. On the night of the full moon, Sarah, Jake, and Emily made their way back to the shrine deep in the woods. The air was thick with tension as they set up the ritual space, arranging candles and symbols in a precise pattern around the weathered statue. The ancient tome lay open at the center, its pages fluttering in the night breeze. Sarah began to recite the incantations, her voice steady despite the fear that gnawed at her insides. Jake and Emily stood by her side, their eyes wide with determination and trepidation. As the final words of the ritual echoed through the trees, a sudden chill swept through the clearing, extinguishing the candles and plunging them into darkness. From the shadows I emerged, my skeletal form illuminated by the faint glow of the moon. The sight of me, with my hollow eyes and gaunt features, struck fear into the hearts of Sarah and her friends, but they stood their ground. Sarah stepped forward, her voice unwavering as she spoke to me. "Tom, we know your story," she said. "We know the curse that binds you, and we are here to help you break free. You don't have to be a monster anymore." Her words stirred something deep within me, a flicker of humanity that had long been buried beneath the layers of darkness and despair. But the curse was strong, and it fought to keep its hold on me. The air crackled with dark energy as I struggled to maintain control, my form flickering between man and monster. With a final desperate effort, Sarah reached out and placed her hand on my skeletal arm. "You are not alone, Tom," she whispered. "We are here with you." Her touch, her words, and the strength of her conviction gave me the power to fight back against the curse. The dark energy that had bound me for so long began to wane, and with a roar of defiance I tore free from its grasp. The curse shattered, and a wave of light washed over me, dispelling the darkness and revealing the man I once was. As the light faded, I fell to my knees, gasping for breath. Sarah, Jake, and Emily rushed to my side, their faces filled with relief and triumph. The curse had been broken, and I was free at last. But the battle was not yet over. Though the curse had been lifted, its remnants lingered in the air, a reminder of the darkness that had once gripped Walland. Together, we vowed to protect the town from any future threats, to ensure that no other souls would suffer the same fate as mine. And so the legend of Skin Tom came to an end. But the story of Walland, of Sarah, Jake, Emily, and the man who had once been a monster was just beginning.